Well, shalom, friend. The Bible calls the 50 days between Passover and Pentecost the time of counting the Omer. So we're counting the 50 days like the disciples were in Acts chapter 2. The word Pentecost means 50th, and Acts 2:1 says that when the day of Pentecost had come, that is when the 50th day had come, they were all together in one place. They were counting the Omer as Torah commands Jewish disciples to do. Well, today is the 42nd day, or at least it will be come sunset, the 42nd day of the 50 days between Passover and Pentecost. And during these last 10 days, we're thinking about the 10 commandments. And so today we will briefly consider the third commandment, which in Exodus chapter 20, verse 7, is recorded this way for us in the New King James. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain. The NIV says it this way: you shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God. This word for take or misuse literally means to lift up. And the word vain means worthless. So the most obvious violation of this commandment is to actually use God's name as a curse word. But the commandment is broader than that, because the word vain can also mean falsely. So if we were to knowingly, falsely take an oath, we would be violating this commandment. The most direct violation of this would be to falsely take an oath in the name of the Lord. For example, a person could falsely say, in the name of God, I, Greg, take you, Donna, to be my wife, to have and to hold you from this day forward for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, for in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish until we are parted by death, and this is my solemn vow. Or as a witness in court, we could be asked, do you solemnly swear that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Or when joining the military, you might be asked to say these words, as I did. I, Greg Stone, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me according to the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Now, no doubt you will remember the story of David, who committed adultery with Bathsheba, and then he tried to cover it up with murder. So the prophet Nathan confronted David, and after Nathan confronted David, David immediately confessed and he repented. And 2 Samuel chapter 12, verses 13 and 14 says that David said, I have sinned against the Lord. And then Nathan immediately says to David, the Lord has also put away your sin. You shall not die. But then Nathan goes on to say, you're going to be disciplined because you have given occasion to the enemies of the Lord to blaspheme his name. Friend, this idea of blaspheming can also happen on a national level. There's at least 9 times that our Hebrew prophet Ezekiel says that God sent Israel into Babylonian exile because of this sin. For example, here's one, Ezekiel 20, verse 22. I withdrew my hand and acted for my name's sake, that I should not be profaned in the sight of the Gentiles, in whose sight I have brought them out. Basically, what God is saying to Israel is, look, I brought you out of Egypt, you profaned my name, so now I'm going to send you back into Babylon. The commandment says, you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. The word vain can also mean worthless or futile or idle. Idle, like in Psalms 12, verse 2, they speak idly. Everyone with his neighbor, with flattering lips and a double heart, they speak. When a car idles, it's not moving anywhere. It's just the engine's running, but nothing's happening. You see, what God really wants for us is to honor his name, and he wants his name associated with honor. He wants us to use his name for good. He wants us to use it to bless people. Friend, let's bless our God before we obey the commandment to count the days between the Passover and the Pentecost. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with his commandments and commanded us to count the Omer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirtzanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sefirat ha-Omer. And now let's count the Omer on this 42nd day. And here's how we do it. Today is 42 days, which is 6 weeks of the Omer. And then we say, in Hebrew, we can say, Hayom Shnayim ve'arba'im Yom Shehem Shisha Shavuot le'Omer. Again, today is 42 days, which is 6 weeks of the Omer. God bless you, friend. Hope to see you tomorrow.